So this dates back to, as I said, 1985. And because of my wife's illness, she was very severely dehydrated, extreme fatigue, a lot of pain, and very, very dysfunctional. And found that her condition, similar to many other people that have other chronic problems, that they have a very difficult time hydrating normally. And when the amount of cell water in the body drops, this affects energy, the ability to heal, and a lot of and really the inability to function well. So, because she could not hydrate well, I was looking for other mechanisms to drive fluids back into the system, and I was motivated by actually some work that had been reported by Lourdes in southern France, and these are healing springs that have been well documented, and that the springs seem to hydrate better. But when the people there in southern France drank this water, they felt a wonderful experience. But when they took the water back to their room, it didn't work. So there was something that was changing that rapidly, that it was not viable, that they could not take it with them. Now I understand there's a spring here in Mexico called Tecolote that also has a similar story, but the water is not stable, so the people can't take it with them. And we've heard the same thing in Kiromizu, Japan, a spring that flows into the Hindu River in India. There are springs around the world where this phenomenon has been reported, and they appear to hydrate well, better than any other water, and they bring relief, but they're unstable. Well, diabetes is a very complicated disease, and we certainly don't have all the answers, but we do know that in type 2 diabetes, one of the common descriptions of the disease is called insulin resistance. And the pancreas may be putting out enough insulin to handle what the patient needs to manage their blood sugar, but because of dehydration, that insulin is not recognized by the body, and therefore the blood sugar levels tend to drift up. Now, there was some research done in Europe and the United States that found that an insulin molecule, which is a very large protein, needs 440 water molecules around it so that it bends and conforms in a correct way. Now, if an individual is dehydrated, those insulin molecules may be distorted so that the body does not recognize it. So we found that when these patients would rehydrate effectively, then they would actually be able to allow this insulin to be recognized and have it perform its job more effectively as well. We actually did a study on not only type 2 diabetes, but the amount of circulating blood sugar in these diabetic patients in China. Now, if the blood sugars are relatively normal, we had the patients either consume the Lorenz water or the distilled water, and we found that there was not much difference if the blood sugars were fairly normal, but the more unstable their blood sugar, the greater the amount of blood glucose in the bloodstream, the more effective our solutions were shown to be. And in a graph that we can show you, we know that when at a maximum blood sugar level of about 250 milligrams, that compared to distilled water, that the Lorenz water or solution was 13.4 times more effective in hydrating than the distilled water at that high blood sugar level. So we know that there's an inverse relationship, that as the blood sugar levels tend to go up, our solutions work better, and distilled water actually shows that it becomes much less effective at hydrating.